I'm just saying, right, that Dany is trying to play the political game here, but she does not have that sort of clout to use that. Her strength is her army, and if she wants to use that, she wants to play the political game, she can't win. And I think that's the whole theme of this episode. You don't want to use brute force, but what if brute force is the only thing you have?
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Capuchopure Game of Thrones Season 8 Recap Special. Unfortunately, we don't have Nick from BuzzPop right now due to personal issues at the moment, so now we're just going to hold the fort for now, talk about what happened in episode 4. So how do you feel about seeing Sir friendzone Jorah Mormont's body dead cold time and again in the first 5 minutes?
I think that's a scene to just recap. It's a recap episode, right? Telling people who died, who survived, and kind of expected to see those special, I think it's a final goodbye to these characters.
Of course.
So not just Jorah, we got to see Theon, we got to see
God bless Theon.
God bless Theon, and then it's a nice touch when we saw Sansa put that direwolf pin on him. So basically he died a Stark.
Of course, with death comes life, and with life comes the celebration of sorts. I mean, Gendry is now a king or a lord of his own territory, right?
Of Storm's End. So I think before this, we always considered Dany as being like super brute. It's just about using her dragons, her Dothraki, her unsullied army. So that move is a very, very wise political move because she's not even the queen yet, and she's already granting people titles. What Tyrion alluded to her. You're building allies. You are gonna have this guy who owes a lot to you for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So
it's smart play, but at the same time, you're actually getting a cheap pop from everyone to actually.
Yeah, she's getting a cheap pop, but she also realizes that that short excitement on her side, it's quickly fizzled out. When she looked around, you can grant whatever title you want to anyone in that room, but at the end of the day, people see Jon as their true leader.
Yeah. When there was that scene where music plays and then the narrators are just looking left, center, right, everyone all cheering on for Jon.
Everyone
a war hero, basically.
Everyone was cheering for each other. Everyone's they have someone to care about. And when you see the group surrounding Jon, I think there was Tormund who said he followed him beyond the wall, he followed him past the wall, and then so it shows where Jon's, how Jon is compared to Dany in the eyes of the people. The viewers' eyes, I think in season 8 is Varys, because Varys saw it. We saw Dany is gonna
the observer and everything.
Yeah, and Dany is obviously being very envious. She's feeling insecure. And moreover, with that revelation that Jon is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne,
which the both of them only knew about, plus Bran.
Yeah.
And then now, I think by this episode's end, I think the entire planet will probably know about this.
Well, at the moment, 8 of them. Finally, something that we didn't see in the previous episode, which is strategy, because there was no strategy in Battle of Winterfell.
There was actually some planning in the second episode, but that's it.
That's shit. They didn't do any, and it's bad strategizing, dude. Anyways, Dany, power hungry. That is something that everyone would have noticed.
Yes. She has that seething rage and jealousy in regards to Jon Snow's position. She even had a quiet talk with Jon, begging Jon not to tell anyone about this new lineage.
No, she's got crazy eyes, dude. She's got crazy eyes.
The crazy ex-girlfriend eyes.
Yeah, the point where she went, no one must know about this. It's like, I mean, you can see the dynamics there where he would give everything to her. He don't mind, but he just want the truth to be known. And she's all about, no one must know. I need to be on the throne. And she don't even talk about his feelings. She just talk about the Iron Throne.
I think she might end up becoming like a dad. I mean,
she will. It's not ruthless. It's crazy selfish. No, it's not selfish. It's greediness and power hungry. People say it's driven, but
based on what she's experienced from the first season.
I think everyone experienced shit in their own way, but everyone's willing to give in a certain point, to get to the final what you call it, the final prize, which is sometimes it's not even the Iron Throne. Are you fighting for the people, or are you fighting just for your personal glory? Because there is a sense of entitlement from Dany, and the moment she saw Jon, that's how she reacts. I think Sansa is the most grounded person in Westeros right now. During that celebration bit, when she sat with the Hound, right?
Yep.
And he said, if you followed me out of King's Landing, you wouldn't have been. He recalled the part where she was tortured by Joffrey, by Ramsay, by everyone.
Yeah.
And true, she said if she didn't suffer through that, she wouldn't be where she is.
Yeah.
And remember, if you watch our previous episode, I always say, Game of Thrones is about mirrors. You know, different people experiencing similar conditions, right? But how they react to it. And you can say Dany suffered so many, so she's entitled to the throne. I thought Sansa probably got it worse even.
Oh yeah.
On a personal level, right? And yet she's very, very grounded, and she don't even have dragons. Maybe she would be weird with dragons, but she's there. She's a strong woman. I think that there'll be a conversation where people say Dany is the strongest female in Game of Thrones. I disagree. I think
Sansa would be, at this point in time right now, I'm not going to be shocked if she ended up ruling the entire kingdom like by the end of the season.
Daenerys is turning into that character where she's just nuts. She's just crazy. So it's hard to root for her.
But at the same time, I actually feel for Tyrion and Varys because they are the ones who actually have to guide her, despite how stubborn Daenerys will be, and because her heart of the entire operation Jorah is dead.
I don't think so, because everyone, I mean, in the past 8 seasons, everyone who's still living in this, at the present time in Game of Thrones, they've been through shit.
Yeah.
Okay, Jon's been through shit, and everyone. It shows how different they approach things, and I think the only reason Tyrion is like, okay, I still want to stick with Dany or whatever, is because for the past 1.5 seasons, he's seen his decisions been proven wrong, right? So he trusted on something, it went wrong. He trusted on something, he went wrong. So he doesn't. I think there's something in him where if he takes a step back from supporting Daenerys, it's again a show of him being wrong.
Yeah.
When truthfully, I think Varys sees it from a non-biased position, and I like the point where he says it's a recall to I think season 7, where he told Daenerys, if he realized something is not right,
I'll tell it to you straight in your face.
I'll tell it straight in your face.
And there's a lot wrong with this plan.
Yes. So I think Varys is going to be an interesting player here, and he's going to live through it.
Yeah, he has to live through it. He is supposed to be that guy who oversees everything.
Yeah.
But in this point in time, when you think of an incredibly stubborn character like Cersei and her really strong army, I think there's a breaking point that Daenerys has reached. Like, we've tried negotiating. You killed my dragon. You've killed a character. I mean, the Missandra, like at the end of the episode. With all these things escalating, of course she's gonna make the most terrible decision ever, which is probably slaughtering a lot of innocent people.
But don't you think most of her mistakes, most of the people who die or whatever bad decision happened, it's her fault?
It is, because she makes the decisions.
Poor planning, poor foresight. It was Sansa, right? Our armies are weak. Everyone's this one. We need to recuperate. We need to, rally back before going down south.
And Daenerys said push forward. Right?
Yeah, push forward. And then Jon, again, probably trying to find a middle ground here. Say, okay, let's do it. So we know that's bad decision already.
But at the same time, I don't want this character, Daenerys, to be completely one-dimensional for the next few episodes. It would be nice if there's a way that she gets swayed at the very last minute, or maybe because we got 2 more episodes. I mean, again, for her to become an evil tyrant, okay, that's one way to go about it, but that just basically proves everyone right. Like, basically, you can't have this woman ruling or leading an army in the future. But at the same time, I felt that her growth deserves some payoff. Like, if anything, she actually got a lot going on from the first season onwards, per se. Tyrion said it best. She's like one of the only few characters where she came with 3 stones. She came out of the fire with 3 dragons.
Yeah, that's faith, but also entitlement. She thinks just because she's the queen mother,
the chosen one,
she's the chosen one, and then there's this chosen one complex. It's last week, right, when Arya killed the Night King, and everyone was like, okay, that's the prophecy of Azor Ahai and whatever, right? you realize the one that really made people talking was when Melisandre said you will kill people with green eyes, right? Dany has green eyes, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
During that stare down, her and Cersei, green eyes. People were just looking at stare down between those two, but actually it's a highlight of Dany's eyes. The big death and twist at the end, which is involving Rhaegal.
Literal death.
Death, finally. I mean, come on, you know they are susceptible to big projectile. They know what happened up north, and they know once they come back to Dragonstone, I'm pretty sure there is the spices everywhere. Spice would have told.
So it's more like camping until they come.
Yeah, camping until they come, ambush them, take one dragon out, you're good.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of ships.
Yeah, and a lot
really strong ballistas.
Scorpions.
Scorpions.
Towards the end, right, for the when everyone's at the entrance of King's Landing at the walls, you can see how many scorpions were mounted on it.
Shit.
So in a way, dragons are gonna be ineffective. It's gonna be super ineffective over there. In the final battle, I think it's gonna be much smaller but more intense. So
but there's gonna be an infiltration thing happening, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So the Hound kind of knows the interior of King's Landing.
Not
because
just that.
He was there before.
Bronn,
yes.
I do feel that Bronn is. We haven't seen the.
That was actually one of my favorite scenes when Bronn came with a crossbow to talk to the two brothers.
Yeah,
he actually did punch Tyrion in the nose, even though his nose wasn't broken.
Yep.
That was funny. The interplay, the conversation, and then the resolution of that part. It was really well done, because it stays true to the character. Anyway.
I think Bronn is gonna be a big player here. I think he's gonna be the one that's gonna take down the mountain. Weirdly enough.
Stab him in the back, most likely, not giving the click.
No, with the crossbow.
Okay.
I have a feeling that crossbow is gonna be used on the mountain. Bronn is not done yet. Bronn is probably gonna help Tyrion to get into King's Landing. Tyrion probably knew some because he was the hand of the king for a while.
Yeah, he should know the interior of the castle anyway.
Yeah, and he also what's the other guy?
The Hound should know this too, right?
Not just the Hound. The Onion Knight, Sir Davos. Because I think, remember he was talking with Tyrion the last time they met was at the Mud Gates, and then when he failed to attack King's Landing, I think he will get his final redemption here, where he actually get to breach into King's Landing.
Okay, that cool.
And
they had that chat during the party too, if I recall.
Yes, and then a throwback with Bronn. Remember Bronn mentioned about the Eyrie, where he said when they're talking about Eyrie being impenetrable. So Bronn's gonna say what? Give me 10 good men and I will impregnate that bitch.
Okay.
So I think that one is finally gonna be referred to, and Bronn is gonna help them get into King's Landing.
I hope so too. I gotta bring this up. That stare down between Daenerys, Cersei at the last episode is pretty intense.
It was pretty intense, but people were just thinking, oh yeah, then Daenerys is just gonna go crazy and Cersei is gonna be like super smug. But those eyes are turning green.
They are, yes.
They were turning green. So again, Arya does what's best for her family, and there is a reason why she's going down to King's Landing. People might assume she's going down there to kill Cersei, but I think Cersei.
She's our last on the list.
Yeah, she's last on the list, but I think at the end of the day, Arya is still part of the Faceless Men, and the Faceless Men will only kill people when they need to be killed, right? Even though she don't really follow it. So I think Cersei will be killed by Jaime. Arya's mission down south is for Daenerys.
Probably.
I'm putting it out there. Arya is gonna take down Daenerys.
And I've got quite a bit of a plot twist. I mean, if we're gonna stay to what George R.R. Martin might do, what if Cersei lives? I mean, that could be a possibility. What if? But because Game of Thrones is all about the politics and the compromise. What if there's a way that Cersei lives, still retains the rule, Daenerys dies, but everyone, I guess maybe Cersei gets a bit neutered, she does not have full control, she gets from Tyrion or maybe Jaime Lannister or everyone else.
I don't think so.
Or even Jon.
I don't think so. I think the stuff that she's done since season 5
Oh yeah,
onwards,
she deserves a payback, but like I mentioned time and again, there are worse fates than death.
If you want political sort of ending, I'll leave it to the books. This is for TV. It does not make good ending.
It needs to have that, some tropes,
some payoff.
Up,
it has to be payoff. Yeah. It has to be something that's rewarding for the viewers, something that's been building up. So I'm down to the point where episode 5, we might not see her death in episode 5, but we will
Maybe imprisonment.
we will see her like rapid fall from grace really quickly in episode 5.
Alright, I think that's it. Thanks again for watching this episode. We'll definitely be talking more about the last few ones in the coming few weeks or so.
Yep.
So do check us out on kakuchopure.com and check out Nick's site on buzzpop.tv.
Alright, thanks guys, thanks for viewing, and see you guys later.
See ya.